Hey guys, Loremaster here, and before the video I just wanted to quickly mention that the official Loremaster Patreon page and Discord are now live, and you can find links to both in the description. It's a great community and there are tons of Minecraft and Java developers just waiting to help you on your projects. Hey guys, Loremaster here, and welcome back to another Minecraft modding tutorial video. In this episode we'll be talking about smelting and smelting recipes. Of course, this is a lot simpler because we don't actually have to use JSONs this time, so this should be a pretty short video. But first thing you're going to want to do is create a new class within your init package. So come over to your package explorer here, find init where you have mod blocks and mod items, and just right click, new class, and we're going to name this mod recipes. And this is going to hold all of our smelting recipes. So mod recipes, just press finish. And inside of here, first thing we're going to have to do is create a new method. So make a little space down here. And this method is going to be an initialization method. So we want it to be public static void init. And then, two little parentheses right there and a curly brace, and just open that up real quick. And inside of this initialization public static void method, we're going to be putting our actual recipes that we're registering within the game. So in order to do that, we're going to have to import a few things, so just bear with me. But first put game registry dot add, and give it a second to load, but add, and you should find here add smelting. So you can choose if you want a block or an item. It just depends on what you're trying to do, but in my case I want to be able to smelt 1 ruby in a furnace and it will turn into a ruby block. So I'm going to click this one down here. So it should come up with this whole outline for you. So this right here is going to be your input, this is going to be your output, and this is going to be the XP value that you get for actually smelting it in a furnace. So in my case, I want the input to be 1 ruby, so I'm going to put the location of my ruby, which in this case is mod items. As you can see here, we have initialized it inside of here. So back in mod recipes, inside of input, we would put mod items dot ruby, and that is our ruby item as the input. Now for output, we're going to have to do something a little bit different. We're going to want to create a new item stack, and then a little parentheses there with mod blocks.ruby. So why am I doing this? So essentially what I'm telling the actual game to do is add a smelting recipe that inputs 1 ruby and then outputs a new item stack that is this. And we initialized my ruby block in mod blocks, as you can see here, ruby block. So of course I would use mod blocks.rubyblock. So it's all based on what block or custom item you're using, and we'll go over vanilla items in a second. And then for XP value, and make sure also after ruby block to add a comma and however many you want to be the output. So if you wanted 5 ruby blocks as output, you'd put 5, but in this case I just want 1. And then the XP value right here, just delete that. So this is gonna be a float value, which means you're gonna put a number and then an F. So I'm just gonna put 1.5F. You can mess around with this. It just depends on how much experience you want for an individual to get when they smelt this specific item. So this right here would create a recipe where you're inputting a ruby and getting out 1 ruby block. Of course, you have to import item stack right here, item stack, and make sure to import game registry as well if you didn't already. And let's try this with a vanilla recipe as well, just so you guys can see. So game registry dot add smelting, and let's just double click that. And for our input, let's make it so that if you put a ruby block in to the furnace, you will get a diamond block out. So mod blocks.ruby block, because in my case I'm getting a ruby block, which is my custom block from the mod blocks class that we created earlier. And then for output, we're going to do the same thing, new item stack. But in this specific stack, we're actually going to be using a vanilla item. So if you want to use vanilla blocks, just do blocks dot, and then you can choose from all these different blocks down here that you can see. And if you want to do items, you can just do item dot, or items, sorry, dot, and then you get a bunch of items here. So in this case I want a diamond block, so I'm going to put blocks dot diamond block, and you can see right here that this is a diamond block, so we're creating a new item stack of diamond blocks. And then for XP value, I'm just gonna make this one. Oh, and also I always forget, don't forget after the output to put a comma inside of the parentheses, a comma, and however many you want. So I'm gonna have it output 2 diamond blocks in this case. And then for XP, I'm gonna make it, I don't know, let's say 3.0F. So yeah, so that's a new recipe. And again, just to recap, if you wanna use vanilla items, you're gonna do blocks, dots, and then, you know, whatever you want. For vanilla, that's for vanilla blocks, but for vanilla items, you're going to want to put items, dots, and then, you know, whatever item you want, birch door or whatever. And then, you know, for custom blocks and items, you're going to want to use mod blocks and mod items that we defined earlier on. Alright, so after that, it's really easy to initialize this. We're going to actually come back to our main class right here. If you don't already have it open, it's down here in our com.loremaster.tutorial mod. And inside of our main, we're going to want to come to our public static void init right here. This is our forge mod loader initialization event. And this is going to initialize anything that we put inside of it. So in this case, you want to initialize all of the recipes we've created. So you're going to want to type mod recipes, which is the name of the class we just made, dot, and then init. So if you don't know, much about Java syntax, essentially this is calling the class and then calling the actual method within the class. So it's telling Forge Mod Loader during the initialization setup to run all of this, which in turn initializes your smelting recipes. So if you launch the game, your smelting recipes should actually be inside of the game. So we'll go do that right now. Alright, so we're inside of the game now, and I have a little furnace here with some coal inside of it. So we're going to try out both of our recipes. So if we put our ruby in here, we can see that it is smelting, and it should give us, I believe we set it to a ruby block. Yeah, so it should give us a ruby block and a little bit of experience, but we won't see that in creative mode. But there we go, we have our block of ruby, so that is working. And now if we put this block of ruby inside of the furnace again, this block of ruby should give us 2 diamond blocks. I believe that's what we set it as, and of course a little bit of experience. But here we go, 2 diamond blocks is what we're hoping for, and we'll know we did it correctly. And there we go, 2 blocks of diamond, and just to make sure, you can see that these both work totally as normal. So yeah, now you have working smelting recipes inside of the game. I hope that helps a lot. So now that you've set this up, it's really easy to add new recipes whenever you want. If you ever want to add a new smelting recipe, just come over to your mod recipes right here, this class, and just copy and paste one of these right down below. And you can just change whatever values you want. Be sure to not get confused this with crafting recipes. Remember that you want all of your crafting recipes to be in your recipes little package down here in your assets folder, and you want all of your smelting recipes to be within mod recipes, the class. So make that very clear distinction. But other than that, that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys learned a lot, and thanks so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next episode.